Hi, welcome back to Carrie Kirby Creates. I'm Carrie and you're very welcome here if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you so much for tuning back in. Today's quote of the day from this lovely box of cards that my daughter gifted me a while back, lovely inspirational quotes, is the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They can only be felt. Today I'm going to be making a shaker card, a Valentine Shaker Card. And I'm starting with this A6 card base and using this heart, I'm going to cut little hearts out from the center of it, and then using the same die and this other die with the scalloped edge, I'm going to cut a piece out using some white cardstock to line over the front of the heart. I'm also going to be using this die and I'm going to be cutting out a back piece from this piece of white cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to emboss that. The light is very bad today, just hopefully that's better, but I'm going to emboss the piece that I cut out with this beautiful heart designed embossing folder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that much and I'll be back. Now there are lots of ways of making shaker cards, as I'm sure you all know, but this is just how I'm going to go about it. So I have them pieces cut out, and that's going to get layered over the opening. So on the inside here then I'm going to be using, that's the embossed piece that I will be putting behind it, but in front of that I've just roughly cut out, I don't know if you can see it, it's a piece of just clear acetate. So the first thing I'm going to do, you can see it there I think now with the light, I'm going to stick that on. Now that looks fairly ugly, I just hand cut it, but it doesn't matter, nobody will ever see that. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and just run some glue all around the inside of my heart, and I'm going to pop that down over it, and I want to leave that dry. So I've gone ahead and I've left that dry and I trimmed off some of the excess around. The next thing I want to do is, now there's a little bit of warping there because of the wet glue. Maybe in hindsight I should have used the double-sided tape, but this is going in front of it anyway, so it's going to cover it up. So I guess it's not too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to pop a bit of glue around the edge of that. And I want to pop that just to finish off that lovely little heart. Just outline it, make it look pretty. Just got a little bit of glue there, I'm going to get it off while it's still wet. That's okay, I think. So that looks like it's lined up fine. So next I'm going to come in with some double-sided foam tape. And what I want to do is I just want to open a bit up, go around and kind of get the length with a little bit extra. Gonna cut that there. And I'm going to come in and just cut this in half. Now I'm going to stop up near the top and just leave a little piece. Now, the next thing I want to do with this, as strange as it may seem, is I'm coming in with the powder that I use for my embossing when I'm doing the embossing powders, to make sure that things only stick where I want them to stick. And just along the edge of this, I'm going to rub that along because I don't want it to be sticky. Now, I haven't removed the tape yet from there. Just going to rub that over both. Sorry if you can't see there. Just along the edge of both to take that stickiness away. And I'm going to come in with this. Let's see. Going to pop that down there. And I'm going to just maneuver this as best I can all the way around. That's okay. And I'm going to come and do the same just on the other side. So I have no breaks at all. I have no gaps between any of the double-sided tape. I'm going to press that down. And I'm going to cut it there. And again, making sure to have no gap. Oops. Which, yeah, I think that's fine. I can leave that on for a minute. So the next thing I want to do is, I may as well use this. This is going to be going over it, so it's going to hide all that ugliness. But I want to come in and put some double-sided foam tape around that also to the same height. Now again, I'm going to half it because number one, I don't have a whole load of room there. So I'm going to actually I might use this all together because I can see where the width is. Yeah. I just want to bring the back up to the same height as the rest of it, basically. Another little thing that I did with this card, because I'm using the card base itself as the front, I came in, and I don't know if you can see it here, but the card was already scored there on that line. Sorry, the card was already scored there on that line. I came in and I scored it again, just a centimetre away, so that I have a double scoring. And what that does is it just gives me that little piece that when I close it, you know, I've got that kind of little bit of depth, and it's, you know, it closes properly, basically, is what I'm trying to say there. Coming in and put that Another little piece up here. So we've got that one. And again, I'm going to pop that there. And I'm going to use up this last piece. Just putting a couple of bits in basically. Fill that there. And fill that there. So there we go. Yeah. I went out a bit too far. But look, I'll rectify it easily enough, I think. That'll just bring that in. Bring this one in. And with that, I can just cut the end off. Saves me a job. Let's hope. Yeah, there's a little bit extra on the top and bottom, but look. I can sort that too. And you know, I could have cut this out of the video, but I'm not going to. Because we all make mistakes, it's part of it. Let's see. Pop that down there. Just that little bit there. I think that should sort it. Yeah, that will sort it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to pull off the back of the foam tape. There we go. And the next thing I want to do is I've got these little sequins. So I'm going to pick out some of those colours that are going to match nice with this card. I think a few of each of them will be quite nice. I didn't really want that to happen, but not to worry. And hopefully the edges of it won't be sticky where I put the powder on. So next I'm going to come in with my back piece. And I'm going to pop that down. And that's the outside part there. Now it's not a very deep It's not a very deep one. You could double up the foam tape and make it deeper. There's a couple of bits stuck up there that I didn't want. But they will shake, and the good thing about this is they'll actually stay there. You know, the ones all fall down and you won't be able to see. They will move, but they'll stay there, and I think that that's very nice, and I think the design behind also is nice. So the last thing I've done here is with this little Gemini Valentine die. I came and I've cut out the Valentine and the backing. I'm not sure if I want it all. I could use the white backing and colour the Valentine in pink, or I could just use the Valentine as it is. Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm coming in with my picked raspberry because I don't have anything in that colour. Going to actually come in with my brush and dab it over it because I'm not getting it as dark as I want. I want it to be completely covered in the ink. Yeah, and that should be fine now. Pop my lid back on. Yeah, I want to pop a little bit of double-sided foam on the back of that. But I'm going to use these little squares. That's it. So I've decided I want to pop it down here. Then I'm coming in with this little fine tipped glue container, and I want to just see if I can get a bit on the back of that there. Yeah, that's worked out fine. Quite pleased with that. Just to finish it off, I cut out this little piece of white card with my die, and I'm going to come along, pop a couple of bits of double-sided tape on that, and just pop it down on the back so that I have something to write on. And I think that just finishes the card off very nicely. As you can see, this double score, and all it did was it took a tiny bit from the back, which nobody will ever look at. Just makes it look neater, I think. I could come and you know, put a little sentiment stamp there, which I will do, and write your greeting. And that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. It's a pretty little easy enough card. People think that shaker cards are difficult. Well, they're not. If you haven't already, give it a go. I bet you'll be very, very pleased. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.